guys are ready to start D&D, we can jump into it.
Oh yeah.
Unless you guys wanted to chat some more.
I'm in.
I don't mind sitting here looking pretty. But where we left off was you guys had finally gotten to the city of Zadash, or the town of Zadash, collecting what was a deed to a place called the Silver Thread Citadel, arriving in front of this grounded ship. You basically will pick it up at the front of this ship, kind of standing in the middle of town. Town's bustling a little bit. People seem to be getting ready for some type of event that's happening in the next few days or coming week. People notice kind of the new folks that are in town visiting, but they don't really pay too much heed more than like, oh, they look like they're new in town. As you guys find yourself in front of the ship, like I said, it's almost looks like a scuttled boat sitting in the middle of town on a block. But what's fairly peculiar are large arcane-looking blocks on the one end of it, which would indicate, or at least you guys might be familiar with, airships that are used to propel these types of ships into the air. So with that, I'll turn it over to you guys. It's a very sunny day, warm, comfortable. What would you guys like to do?
All right. Yeah. So
we're at like a base sort of situation.
You're at the front door, so you see the side of this wooden ship with what looks like a wooden door on the side of it at the base of this 3-story tall boat.
Is anyone still hurt from our encounter?
I don't think so.
I don't think anyone got hurt.
No, I think we just absolutely murked them.
Destroy.
I think I got tangled in some vines, but that's about it.
That's pretty much it.
Imposed by my own.
Who picked up the deed? Who picked up the deed to this place?
I think I have it.
Yeah, you have it because I have the gold mask still.
Yeah. And then I guess we kind of don't really need the pottery.
Is the
I kept
wooden...
the pottery.
Oh, you kept the pottery. Okay. Good.
I think.
All right. Well, I think Cyrus is pretty keen to like get to somewhere like more comfortable after being on the road for so long. So I think he'd just go up and knock on the door, see if anyone answers.
Okay. As you walk on the door, a moment or two goes by, and you start to hear footsteps. As you're knocking, kind of waiting, the group with you, the door opens, and standing there is a humanoid figure. Looks human-ish, except very white porcelain skin, with kind of like gold striations across their face. They have a very perfectly pressed white, almost like a silk shirt with black lace interlaid through it. Long brown hair, golden eyes of this female figure with, again, perfectly pressed black pants. Hello, can I help you? And a fun little fedora on top.
Well, the fedora.
Hi there. This is the Silver Thread Citadel? Is that right?
Yes, this is indeed. May I ask who's calling?
Oh, I just go by Cyrus personally. What's your name?
My name is Serenity.
Okay. And so are you the owner of this place? Like how's that working?
No, I am but a humble caretaker of this estate. The master has gone off on a journey and has yet to return for quite some time. But if there is anything that needs to be done for the estate, paying taxes or such, I am equipped to do such tasks.
Got it.
I whispered to the group, her master is unlikely to return.
Yeah. Your master? gave the ownership away to this fine gentleman. Connor, I don't know your guy's name.
And we should
Sure.
switch to names.
I'll change my name.
Pardon? Oh.
We have the pronunciation down for that.
Might I inquire to what all of your names are?
Tiburon.
Tiburon? Very nice to meet you.
Isa.
Nice to meet you, Isa.
I'm Borg.
Borg? Borg?
You can call me Pops.
Love it.
Mine is temporary. I go by many names at the moment. It's Agent P.
Agent Peach?
Mm-hmm. It's just temporary.
Ah, interesting.
Oh,
I think
well.
that's pretty permanent.
Well, now that we're all accustomed to one another, Serenity, Borg here is the new owner of this establishment, as per the deed he currently carries.
I would need to see said deed if that's the case.
I don't hand it over, but like show her the deed.
From, like, I'm assuming you're kind of all around the doorway. From where she's standing behind the door, she kind of looks over, and yes, that is indeed the deed. Almost like she can read this, finely written thing from the distance without issue. And he's like, yes, that does look like the deed, but where is the master? Where is Sven Silverthread?
No need for that. As you can see, I have the deed right here, so I'll be the master of the Silver Thread Citadel.
She pauses for a moment. Well, if you are indeed carrying the ownership of this establishment, come on in by all means. As she opens the door wider and kind of steps to the side, gently lifting a hand.
Do like an insight check to see if she believes us. She's cool.
Sure, yeah, give me an insight check.
I need all the dice.
All the dice.
That's a big thing.
She's not prepared. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, we lost one. All right. Five.
5. You gather that she is very trustworthy. So,
Great.
yeah. As she leads you in, and you kind of wander into the inside, unless you don't go in. Stop me if you stay.
I will be the
outside.
last one to go in.
Okay.
I will go in first.
Okay. You find yourself on the first floor of this establishment. Looks mostly like a warehouse, for lack of a better word. It's very clean, if not worn down. You see almost like a series of lockers kind of throughout with what looks like, or I guess on the one wall, which looks like a set of individual cells, cages, like storerooms in the center of this, places to put stuff, load stuff. There's like a small table on one side with some paperwork, seems to be like a log, inventory log. And you see along some of the walls just assortments of gear, rope, pythons, things like of that nature. Again, not in the best repair, but everything is very neatly placed. Everything is in pristine order, even if that order is a little dilapidated. And he's like, well, hopefully the establishment is to what's going on with Roger?
Lost
Hopefully
agent.
the establishment is up to spec. Yeah, let me just let's just
Roger, you can go on mute. You're
There we go. Yeah. Hopefully everything is up to spec. If you wish, I could give you a tour of the place if you are indeed. I would like to know what happened to Sven, if you don't mind me asking.
I would
I
love
do
it.
mind you. I was gonna say, I do mind you asking. And as the new dean owner of the establishment, one thing first, first thing I would just like to get in order is what is this establishment that I've inherited?
And she, very well, good sir. No, sir, I apologize about prying. Borg, if it was, this is a journeyman's establishment. It's a traveling base of operations, if you will. The Silver Threads were known for their wild creations, particularly the development of airships across Wildmount. This is one of Sven's luxury liners that he kept for himself, or at least back when he used to travel for business, if you will, transporting goods a lot easier than by horse and carriage and caravans.
They're a stable for our newly acquired horses. Never let this go.
Give me a history check, Borg.
Me?
Yeah.
3.
3.
It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good night.
Natural.
Perfect. With a 3, you probably haven't heard of Sven Silverthread. You are familiar with the Silverthread name as it's tied to one of the lesser idols. The lesser idol Fizz Silverthread was the lesser idol, I believe, of creation, tinkering, those types of things. You haven't heard of Sven. It's like, I don't know, it's like Jesus' brother, maybe. Who knows?
That's how Fizz would want to be remembered.
Jesus' brother.
Well, maybe Sven's related, maybe not. Maybe it's just one of those things.
So thank you for that. You mind giving us a tour of?
Yes, certainly. If you follow me, as she takes you through this the first floor, like I said, it's mostly just warehouse. It's from a perspective from outside, you're kind of at the lower level of the ship. As you move up to the floors, the second floor is a lot, again, still kind of run down, old, hasn't been updated in a while, but everything is very clean, like dusted to perfect. There's not a lick of dust anywhere. The second floor has a series of bedrooms that are all kind of laid out. There is the kitchen hall kind of at the bow of the ship, kind of the eating area. There are, let's see, there are, and so like a main hallway down the middle with rooms on either side with the dining room at the front. There are also kind of like offices, quarters towards the back with a pantry and galley at the back of the ship. So while you eat in the front, everything's prepared and stored in the back from a provision side of things. As you work up to the top, you have kind of a deck, an open deck, much like a ship itself, with a bit of an enclosed lounge. There's a windowed area in the middle of the ship because there are no masts for this boat. It doesn't need them because it's not traveling by wind power. There are a couple of the anchors that are holding the arcane engines in place, along with a pilot's quarters and a captain's quarters that are set up as separate rooms at the back on the top deck. There's assorted spots for storage as you walk through, and as you work your way through, you also see on the side of this, or along the side of the ship, there's what looks like a small little boat or a skiff hanging off the side that seems to be also able to be activated in case of emergency.
Well, I would say we should make ourselves comfortable. And I immediately start walking towards the captain's quarters. I have no need for this tour, apparently.
Yeah. Cyrus kind of wrinkles his nose a bit and says, well, At least it's clean and not outside. So
Well, I appreciate it. I take much effort in keeping the place clean for, well, I guess now when Borg has now returned.
Eric, I'm going to, I guess, just sneak off and start exploring the ship on my own.
Okay. As you do, there isn't anybody else that you encounter other than the group and Serenity, and you kind of, as you look through the place, are you looking for anything in particular?
I guess I'm looking for like a cargo hold.
So the room you came in at the start.
Oh, that was the cargo.
That was the cargo hold. So as you enter on the ground floor, you're kind of at the bottom of the ship, which is the cargo hold, and you've worked your way up to the levels.
Are the engines in the cargo hold like, are they all like impacted in the same hold, or are the engines on another part of the ship?
You access the engines kind of from the top deck, and they are basically a couple of arms that reach off that have these kind of hover engines that are powering the ship.
Does this thing look like the Enterprise, Eric?
Not quite. No.
Okay.
the Enterprise.
Because he says like the things come out and it's like engines, so it's like the nacelles of the Enterprise.
Yeah, you can say they're like nacelles, but it's not like a saucer section and then there's two things.
Yeah.
Disengage.
I'm just gonna carve my name into the captain's room door.
What?
With one of my daggers.
Excuse me. We don't want to deface any of the. Oh, you're doing it anyways. Okay.
Eric, is there a map room?
No.
Yeah, there is. There is like.
Could I go check out the map room?
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a war room, map room.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can be in there. I'll see what everybody else is doing while you're doing that.
Wait a sec. Who decided that you were going to be captain of this this Citadel?
I don't need to be captain of the Citadel. This is just my room. I'm gonna like speak into my cloak, tell one of my snakes to go in the room. It's Dominic, if anyone's wondering.
I wasn't.
Great. He will keep it safe for me.
Now, is there actually a bed in there, or do you just intend to sleep on the floor?
As you look into the rooms, there are beds. So like there were six bedrooms on the kind of the lower the first floor, not the cargo hold. 8 bedrooms, 2 kind of offices, with some water closets as well. Don't worry, you can use the facilities in D&D. Yeah, there's the one captain's quarters above, which is also has a bed, furnished, chairs, things like that. One thing I guess I should have pointed out, when you looked at the pantry, kind of the galley, while there are stores of food and there are vats of ale and wine present, what you noticed and caught yourselves immediately was a scent of rotting, as all the food seems to be completely just hasn't been touched in like a long time, fermented, if you will. So,
all right.
Can I sorry, what's her
Serenity.
Serenity. Does this ship have a manifest and some sort of inventory system?
Yes, the inventory is kept downstairs in the cargo hold. The captain's quarters would also have a log that I've kept up to date, you'd say, expertly. So we haven't had any adventures for quite some time, so they may be a little stale dated.
Can I go into the captain's quarters and throw out the snake?
Sure.
That's not gonna happen.
Fuck out of here, snakes.
I'll happily fetch the manifest for you.
So, Borg, are you walking in, and are you going to try and?
I'm gonna walk in.
All right. So
I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder.
Tired of these motherfucking snakes.
It is motherfucking.
On this motherfucking plane.
We're 10 minutes in, and we already got PvP. Love it.
Yes.
So you do walk in looking for the manifest. The snake kind of is like looking at you, and then looking at Isa, and then looking back at you, looking for kind of directions.
You're gonna try. You're reaching for the snake.
Yeah, I'll reach. I'll like
So
try to like.
give me.
I'm gonna
like-
cast Radiant Soul.
Hold on.
Oh my
hold on.
god, what's going on?
First of all,
Nuke the ship.
Borg, if you want to give me a dexterity check to see if you can grab, or are you trying? You're not trying to hurt it, are you?
Okay.
You were gonna throw it.
Okay, so when I kind of just like take a step back. I'm gonna go in and cast Beast Bond with the snake. So that's just I can establish a telepathic link with one beast.
All right.
Can he resist it?
The spell fails if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher.
Your intelligence is.
So their intelligence is a 1, so they automatically fail.
Okay.
So you are now telepathically linked with the person that's telepathically linked with the snake. So Issa and Borg, if you want to talk to each other, feel free.
There's no need to harm Dominic. I'm happy to fetch the manifest.
Threw me through a loop. Understood. Just because I'm at. Just have Dominic stay off to the side while I check them in.
Okay.
Now, surely you were going to say that we're all companions here, weren't you?
Nope. It was never said.
I heard what you were going for.
You're not in our head. You're not in our body.
Not in our head.
Oh, this was telepathic.
This is
It's telepathically. I'm talking to the snake.
Like let's strike that from the record. That never happened.
So I guess all you would see is just like Isa, like in her cloak, like just like arms out, hands on hips, just like not angry, just like
Just
very
like-
neutral face,
Just like constantly like
stern, like
Yeah.
yeah.
This is really how you want to get off on the foot with your companions.
I've only claimed a room. I've welcomed him to the manifest.
Yeah, without consulting anyone else.
Okay.
Is anyone else looking to have the captain's room? Shall we have a discussion about it?
I open the door from the war room. Keep your room. Close the door.
Fox and Peach. What are you?
I'm staying out of this.
Yeah, I don't need a captain's room. I just I'm looking for a small quiet space far away from all of this. So
While all this is happening, like Fox has been focusing on essentially casting a ritual. I'm doing my own thing. You guys do your thing. I'm doing my thing.
Fox, what was your thing again? What's your character?
Druid.
Yeah.
Okay, Haldor.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Yeah, Hildorf Druid.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump over to Tiburon as you're looking through the war room, looking for kind of maps. You do find map of Wildmount. You find insets of different areas. So if you want a zoomed in area, you can find those of say like the Marrow Valley or the Zemni Fields, for example. There are some fairly detailed maps of Eiselcross in terms of topography, but it has no names on it. It just has a series of numbers and letters, kind of coordinate system to try and track across it. Additionally, in this room, as you're kind of searching through, you find a series of books kind of laid out on one bookshelf, along with some scrolls, some parchment, and kind of like a writing desk that's kind of left abruptly. The ink seems to be dried up in the inkwell. The quills kind of just dropped on the side, and a piece of parchment's just been torn. Give me an investigation check as you're looking through this room.
was almost a 27.
Right. A lot of the books on the shelf seem fairly benign. Atlases, some like geographical tourism guides, things like that. You do notice one book that has a gold trim written along the side that seems to be emanating some gold. But what you I guess you notice that, but unfortunately, the paper and the scroll on the desk seems to be withered away to the point that anything that is written on there seems to be illegible, and any of the indentation seems to have dried up. So you couldn't really figure out what was the last thing that was written on top of that desk would have been. So yeah.
I guess I'll go for the book that was like sort of glowing gold. I guess I should have told you like what I was kind of looking for. I was kind of looking for just like maybe like diary notes of where they had gone last. But yeah, I'll go for the gold book.
So what you note is that writing desk seems to be the first thing you've noticed that is not completely on point. If you notice everything's been ordered and arranged properly, that's the only thing that's been kind of left. As is the book that you find that's got the glowing spine. It reads, at least the glowing spine reads, "A deep and creeping darkness" along the side of it. That being said, we'll jump over to the other group since you wandered off. As you're looking through the manifest board, you notice that the manifest itself is, again, old, not a lick of dust on it, but you can see the pages have torn in spots. It's been trying to like kept together as best as you can. Some of the pages have been loose and stuffed back in and arranged in a certain order. You notice that a lot of the names have been crossed out throughout. One of the last pages that doesn't have any names crossed out, you read names like you read names like Naxa. You read names like some of the lesser idols that you've heard before, but in their non-titular names. And then you see some other names like was it Zool and what was the other name? There's some names from that I'd have to look back, but they're crossed off with little skulls and crossbones kind of drawn in next to them as they're put down, and you can see that kind of throughout the book of names throughout. And then the last page, it just says cargo only from here on out.
I assume I would have left board to like read that. My intentions in the captain's room are to get Dominic to search for anything like hidden, like any weirdly loose floorboards or other stowaway caches.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
$16.
As the snake is kind of wandering through, it kind of creeps underneath the bed. It finds some pockets and holes into kind of the floors underneath that are loose. As it works through, it doesn't look like there's any, or they can't find any secret compartments necessarily, other than structurally there is a gap between the floors, maybe for sound, for stability, support. As they're looking through, they find odd things like dead animal skeletons, and this place hasn't been cleaned. You find like maybe a copper piece here that's maybe slipped through some floorboards. As they keep working through the boat or the airship, they can kind of move kind of throughout the whole ship if they really tried.
Okay. So while that snake is searching, I think Cyrus is still fixated on who gets this room.
Yeah, to be clear, I only sent Dominic on this adventure.
Yeah. So Cyrus, I think, hanging back, is still conversing with Issa and saying, listen, I'm not an unreasonable person. I'm just saying, if we're going to work together, we should figure out a way to do this a little more fairly. We could roll for the room or something like that.
Why not petition the others for who should get the room? A vote of sorts.
They just met us. How are they going to know who?
It keeps them impartial. Plead our case. Have them vote.
Well,
I hear this at all through Dominic?
Yeah, I was like, we're close to you. You're in the room.
yeah.
I'm in the room, but
I figured.
in my head, I'm in the room. They're in the hallway.
In my head, I am also in the room because I am near the bed. I indicated the snake to go into the floors.
So
are you just gonna close the door?
So the tour ended in front of the captain's room, which is off of the top deck. So it's just an open deck, basically the roof of this place, with kind of the loft being the captain's quarters. And that's where I figured you guys all are. So like there's the captain's room, and
I walked up to the door.
The map room.
Sorry, go ahead.
So like basically Tiburon's in the map room next to the captain's quarters. Those are the only two rooms on the top deck, other than just like gallery. I'll get together something I can share with you guys on the layout at a future session.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, if Borge hears this, like,
sorry, we're all in the same room. So I'm going to say, who are you two to think that only is between Issa or Sirius that you will get this room?
Oh,
I think you two are kind of forgetting who has the deed to this ship.
I'm not saying it should be between the two of us. I'm just saying that one person shouldn't decide by themselves who gets it. That's all I'm saying.
I did ask most of the others if they wanted this room.
You did not.
I said, would anyone like to have a discussion about who takes this room?
And I said I would.
To be fair, I'm the only one who said I don't care.
No, Fox said he wasn't going to do anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fine. He's like, don't involve.
Like, nah.
Well,
to be fair,
don't involve me doesn't mean I don't want the room. He just doesn't want to argue.
We're gonna spend all day on this room.
I am getting visibly frustrated and also confused about this whole situation. So I walk into the captain's room with a strip of fabric and I lay it halfway down the middle, and I go, Cyrus, that's your side. I said, that's yours. Just be done with it. And then I just look at Borge. Unless right you want to be a third, then I walk out.
And Borg's right here, like, what the fuck?
Slap my head and walk out. I step over the snake, giving a little kick. Like, what the fuck?
He's in the floor. Don't you dare kick my snakes. I'm going to call Dominic back, and I'm just going to say, I've checked this room. Have it if you want it, and I'll just leave.
Okay. I mean, Borge, I say the same to you. I mean, if you're interested in the room, why don't we just roll for it fairly?
It still has my name carved in there.
I'm blanking on the attendant again.
Serenity.
Serenity.
Is Serenity still nearby?
She's standing here next to you.
Awkwardly watching us bicker over this. Yeah.
So I'm just like, serious, why don't we ask Serenity? Serenity, who does the captain's room belong to? The captain, I would presume?
Well, it's been my room for the last several years.
Oh.
So, okay, so where has your past patron stayed?
Well, I took over the quarters after Sven said he was heading out on business, and I've been maintaining this place since he's left. By my calculations, that's been approximately 47 years.
X.
One second, guys. There's a knock on the door.
Okay.
So I've been using this as my personal chambers for that time.
Well,
I have a feeling I would have walked like pretty far away. Like I'm done with it. I don't think I would have heard her say that it was her room.
well, Serenity. Now that the new dean order has returned,
I believe it would be your room to decide. I will return down to the guest quarters where I stayed previously. That is not a problem.
seems reasonable to me, right, Sirius?
Sirius kind of shakes his head and says, if this is how you want to start things, then so be it. And he stomps out of the room. Finds another bedroom to
Okay. All right.
to check out.
You go look for another bedroom. I'm curious what everybody else is doing.
Where was that rope and stuff that we passed? Was it on this floor, the storeroom?
So the rope and gear, basically the gear for doing stuff was down in the cargo hold. So, crates, boxes that were largely empty. Some of the rope, like I said, is all in like the cargo hold. The main floor is kind of the bedrooms and the living quarters. There isn't a lot of like working gear there. It's more long-term living kind of stuff. And then the top deck being kind of the, if you were to say pirate ship type stuff, you'd have like your, any anchors, the access to the engines, your viewpoints for navigations, your tools like that are all present there.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my way down to the storeroom.
Okay. How about, so I know Tiburon, are you still in the map room? I don't know. How about Fox? What are you up to?
So
Yes,
now
I'm still.
there's-
Yes, sorry, I'm still in the map room and I'm reading the Golden Book.
Okay. Fox, what are you up to?
Now that there's finally some peace and quiet up here, I finished my ritual, and then I'm just gonna start walking around, looking around everywhere. I'm detecting magic. Not really expecting to see anything, but you never know with a place like this.
Wait, so you're casting Detect Magic?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. But I still want to use spell slots, so I have ritual. So
Is this a whole place magic?
oh, yeah, I'm probably gonna go blind for this.
The only thing that lights up magic are the arcane engines. They are beaming with evocation
All right.
magic.
All right.
Almost
yeah.
blind to that fact.
Don't know what I expected there.
The other thing that you notice that lights up is Serenity. You notice her gold pupils, I guess irises. Her gold irises are glowing with magical energy.
Man.
And let's see what else would be. As you're on the top deck, that's kind of the two things that you would notice.
Yeah, so like I'm just going to slowly walk around everywhere. We don't have to like go through it all right now, but
surprisingly, you'll actually see not much else magical beyond.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't really expecting, but just like let's just see what happens. Okay.
How about Agent Peach? What's Agent Peach doing?
I think I'm going to, as I'm kind of wandering the ship a little bit, I see Tiburon reading a book. And if I may ask him what it's about, I don't know if you want to tell me what's in it.
Yeah, I guess I just started reading it, but what is in the book?
Okay, so as you're reading into it, it looks like this book, as you start reading it, almost like a log or a collection of stories prepared by what you gather is like a bard telling a tale or a story. It's almost, as you're reading through it, it seems like a collection of interviews that he's put together that he's trying to formulate into a bit of a story. So it's like, I've talked to this person, this is what they told me. But as you're kind of reading through it, it gives you the sense that the people that he was speaking to, while not maybe from a town, are all talking about meetings with people or encounters that those folks had with residents of a town called Vermilion. As you're kind of reading through, all of these stories seem to end the same way, that, oh, I know the person from Vermilion. Yeah, they were hardworking. They're kind of a laborer, and then one day they disappeared. Similar stories that, oh yeah, I heard someone break into their place. We were betting at a hostel, and somebody broke into the room and they were dragged out. I didn't quite see who or what it was. Then I never saw them again. Like these types of collections of stories. And it's almost like it's trying to be written into a novel or a book, but it's still kind of loose, and you can tell it, hey, you still kind of crafting something.
Okay. So this, so Sven was like interviewing people and sort of obsessed with a town that people knew people from, but then just disappeared off the map, or even the people just disappeared right off the map.
Yeah. As you keep reading through, the town of Vermilion that's referenced is from what he's indicated, he never went to that town. Wasn't really sure where that town was, other than he knew that the town was in the foothills of the Dunrock Mountains. Some of the collections of people that talked to them spoke of an explosion. With the date given, it would be about 170 years ago. Talk of an explosion that was, damaged a big part of a mine that was in that community, a silver mine. And while people left town, there was said that explosion caused or unlocked or something feral had entered into the town, which scared everybody away. That's the summary of
this
Sorry,
book.
What was the name of the foothills?
Dunrock.
The Dunrock Mountains.
Dunrock Mountains. Yeah.
Thank you.
You from there, Fox?
No, I'm not.
It seems this book is the previous owner's obsession. A town of Vermilion wiped off the face of the earth 170 years ago, along with its people. And so I snap the book shut, and I go out to talk to Serenity, and I ask her.
Agent Peach is just like,
yeah. I just
damn,
briefly explain what was going on. So I snap the book shut. I kind of march out and go talk to Serenity. Serenity.
yes.
As we enter town, the town was buzzing. Something's happening. What's going on?
The Festival of Merit is on its way. Celebration for the Battle of Ascent, the defeat of Vecna, or at least the turning of Vecna.
Yes, we've all heard this story.
The celebration represents
not all of us.
150 years since the Battle of Ascension.
Serenity
You're on the first floor now. Sorry, Zach. Right? And I'm on the first floor, so I'm probably fairly close to you.
I'm gonna jump over Agent Peach just before you. I know you wanted to look at what Tiburon was doing. Was there anything you wanted to do?
Yeah, I just had a question if that was the same document that was mentioning Naxa and some of the folks, or was that something else?
That was the manifest.
And who has that?
In the captain's room.
Okay,
Going over.
cool. Well, I'll leave that for now. And yeah, I think I'm just interested in where Tiburon's going, and Sven's quest for the truth about what happened to this town is definitely piquing my interest.
Hmm. So speaking to Serenity, was there ever a confidant that Sven would talk to in this town that would be at this ceremony? This magical time of your town.
That I don't know. There's been a lot of comings and goings in town. The folks here are be rather new compared to when Sven last was here. So the answer would be no.
Right.
I'm gonna saddle up from. I've picked up a rope from that storage area. I'm gonna saddle up and be like, "Did Sven have any family in this town?"
No, we landed here to do some repairs, and this is where we've been parked ever since. I've been making sure to pay the appropriate taxations for the resting spot that this ship rests on to keep us in good stead with the locals. But we've been.
I'm sure you've done a fabulous job, Serenity.
Thank you. I appreciate it, but it is just my responsibility for taking care of this place.
Sorry, Zach. Were you asking more?
Who or what organization in the city have you been paying the taxes to?
Well, I make sure to provide the taxation to the group of, I guess, business owners that provide the tribute to the Lord of the Marrow Valley. So my contact with payment would be typically Emerald, Emerald of the Emerald Exchange. She's one of the local shopkeepers and owners of more well-to-do establishment here, and then those funds go to provide the donations to. Sorry, I'm just going to pull up the name. Where'd it go? Way too many stuff here. I believe it's Azarath. I think that's who it was.
Eric, was there any mention of the book? I know I skimmed it fast. Of any like interaction or interview with the Emerald Exchange? Is that what it was called? Mm-hmm. Or Azarath in this book? Like any sort of secondhand?
There you go. So Azarath, yeah, that's right. Azarath, you guys would know, regardless of where you came from. You would know. She is one of the 5 rulers of Wildmount. Azarath is the blue dragon that has claimed dominion over the Marrow Valley. One of the 5 dragons that have basically toppled all the governments and now allow the various populations of Wildmount to tend to their own devices, provided that tribute is paid to them. So there really isn't a government, so to speak, other than the the BIA, essentially the Downtown Business Association.
Serenity, before he left, did Sven ever have interactions with the community, or was he a recluse?
As Serenity is about to say, well, I can tell you all about that. You hear a knock on the door. And you hear a, hello? Hello? And we will take a break there. So take like five minutes and we'll figure out where this is at.
Sounds good.
I loved fighting you, Connor.
Well, I thought
I should check your mail now. I don't want to take your job, Zach, but
Okay. Well, jumping back into it, you hear a knock on the door. Gotta find that voice again. Hello? Anybody there?
I whisper to Serenity, might you know who that is?
No clue. I've been answering the door for quite some time now. Would you mind, as the new owners, seeing who it is?
Oh, slacking off already, eh? No, rude.
Wow.
Deeply
No,
rude.
no.
Don't speak to me.
No. That's
I am the
Of course,
caretaker.
of
I am the
course.
caretaker of this ship, not caretaker of yourself.
I can.
Of course. I merely jest. I'll open the door.
You're opening the door. Okay.
Yeah.
As you open the door,
Eldritch blast. No. Go on, Eric. Sorry.
you are confronted with a rather tall, maybe 7.5, 8 foot tall figure. Large, broad body, very interesting, like brown cloth shirt with a very broad belt. Wraps around his legs. But what's probably most unique about him is a very long nose forming into a trunk with large tusks. As you are face to face with a Loxodon, wearing very tiny little glasses that are like darkened shade glasses. And he's like, I heard that there were new people here, new adventurers types. And I've come to explore that rumor to see if they were true.
The rumor is true, my
very
dear
good.
friend.
As he barges in, walks into the ship.
Of course.
And what might your name be, sir?
Pulling a almost like a cane out in front of him as he walks in. Well, the name is Elefante Tuskly, and I am here to say welcome to Zadash. And wondering, are you brave adventurers that the rumors have made you out to be?
We have only just arrived.
Yes, very good, but
rumors.
No time to dawdle and settle. If you are adventurers, maybe we could get into business. I would say. I say yes. As he grabs his.
Is business well? Does it do well for new adventurers?
Well, if you're new adventurers, even better. Looking to make a name for yourself, I think we could partner quite well together, if I say so myself.
So hearing this discussion coming from downstairs, so Cyrus is gonna come down from sulking in the bedroom and just be like, "Oh, I like this. What do you have in mind?"
Well, I myself am what you can say a purveyor of fame. If you want to be known throughout the realm, I'm the one to do it. If you're adventurers, I would strike up a bargain with you. Where do you want to go? And I will spread your name and your word around, making you more popular, giving you opportunities beyond your wildest dreams. And in exchange, you give this old man, this old Loxodon, one last hurrah for adventure.
You're going to come with us?
Where would you have a place in mind, Elefante?
I am at your whim. What do you find exciting and entertaining? I'm a mere bard, looking to spread that word out in a last hurrah.
My dear Elefante, have you ever heard of a city named Vermilion?
Can't say that I do, but that's a fantastic name. I already have ideas of Vermilion, the city on the grow.
And where do you hail from?
I'm a mere resident of Zadash myself. Rumor spreads quite quickly. Spreads quite quickly of new folks in town, adventuring types that seem to have protected a caravan out front. And I've come to stake claim to you folks before anybody else does.
Insight check.
Give me an insight check.
Check everybody. I don't trust anyone. Oh my god. 6.
He looks
Very
cool.
confident.
It's getting better.
Getting better.
You gather that he seems
Nice
very
and easy
genuine.
timeout.
As the Agent Peach comes down with Cyrus, wow, you do have quite a band. Like I said, my name is Elefante Tuskley, and I'm looking for you as this Loxodon. So for Agent Peach's benefit, you see this 7.5 foot tall Loxodon, just kind of walking in brown robes, dark black glasses, kind of just talking pervasively across the group.
Yeah. Cyrus looks a little crestfallen and says, well, I gotta be honest, when you said business, I had assumed you were thinking more in coin rather than fame.
Well, it's all about clout, and I can provide that.
Elefante, any rumors you've heard around town or in the local land that could provide fame? This fame you seek as a bard.
Well, that's the thing is I'm getting up there in years, and hitching my wagon to up-and-coming adventurers such as yourselves seems to be the best place to find adventure.
How old does he look? Can I tell?
He looks pretty old. He's got it's not that difficult to tell. He's got gray, like the gray in the skin, the fur, kind of like his ears. You can see like long hair coming out of his ears.
So he's
wrinkles.
probably
Go ahead.
before Dragon Era.
No, he'd probably be, for Loxodon, I'm not sure how well you know how old they are, but maybe they're like in their 80s.
Yeah, like how many rings does he have on his trunk?
Quite a bit.
Okay. We count 80.
As he holds his cane out, as he puts it down. If my presentation is not to your liking, maybe think on it, sleep on it. I'm here in town. I'm staying at the Evening Nip. If you're ever looking for someone to make a name for yourself, and I know the people in town, I could connect you, and provide you a bit of an in with those here in town. That's
Well, yeah, connections. Not just knowing the common folk, lovely as they are, I'm sure, but friends in higher places speaks my language a bit more personally.
yes, I can do that if you're willing to take me on for one last adventure.
Elefante, before you go, tell us of your adventures past.
Well, if you're interested, and he brings his trunk out, and he starts to conjure magical energy, this green energy that starts to float up, and you see at first it looks like a rock or a griffin flying, and then you just see a pig, almost in illusionary magic, just floating in front of him as he's weaving it with his trunk. This scene of this rock getting shot down by a much younger looking Elefante that he picks it out of the sky and drops. You see at first it looks like the ground is shaking in front of him. As the scene pans out, the magical energy reaches out, and you see this Tarrasque stomping down as the earth shakes.
Jesus
as
Christ.
it slides out more, you can see that he's riding the Tarrasque like a donkey. And then it cuts to another scene where they get more and more exaggerated and ridiculous as they go. At one point there's a circus that's flying around that he's a very young Loxodon that's doing the trapeze stuff, which for his size and scale doesn't make any sense, but there you have it. He kind of keeps presenting a couple of these. If that doesn't pique your interest, I don't know what will. And he grabs his cane. Find me at the Evening Nook if you Evening Nip if you wish to do some business and could use my talents to make a name. What do you call yourselves, if you don't mind me asking?
Nothing currently, as far as I know.
Good. A group ready to be molded. As he kind of gives a little kick of the heels as he starts to walk out. You can see that those black dark glasses that he has, probably indicative of him being blind, as he's feeling with his cane around as he's walking away.
Ah,
Remember the name, Elefante.
Of course. And I like walk him out and like close the door.
All right, I look towards Serenity. You've never heard of him.
Oh, yes, I have. He's here.
Oh.
He's here once a week looking for new folks.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Wait, and how have you just been ignoring the door?
No, I give him his due, let him speak, and we have tea every now and then. He comes by. He's a very pleasant folk.
All right.
Serenity, have there been other adventurers who arrived since Sven left?
There have been those that have sought to find stuff in this place. We've had break-ins over the years, but I've done my best taking care of the establishment, making sure that, until Borie came forward with the deed, the rightful deed, as I can see, I've made sure that those people who weren't welcome stayed out.
Serenity, does what this place is called, Silver Thread Citadel, have defenses?
As
I think the defenses are called Serenity. I think she
Probably.
killed. I think she
But
killed these people.
I'm like alluding to it since I don't know
Yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah. I think she
she
killed these people.
Know the thing.
she looks at you and she smiles, dear, and her eyes glow a little bit brighter.
Fantastic.
Feel safer already.
So, Rennie, for the last 47 years, you say you've been paying the taxes.
You knew first.
How has you been paying, like, financing? I feel like you haven't been doing much business for the last 47 years.
That is
Whoa,
correct.
what an interesting question. Serenity, where's the money?
That is correct. I have been pulling from the stores, which I will say are drawing to an end. There isn't much left in the stores, and I am glad that at least someone's arrived with the deed. As we're basically out of money.
Yeah. Basically, you have a shit ton of stuff, and you've been
Just-
selling it.
Just in time.
I've got maybe enough to cover this month's rent. It's month to month here.
47 years. I mean, yeah.
Rent control's fantastic though.
Well, when you got a dragon to smite anybody that steps out of the way, yeah, I bet it would be fantastic.
So the storeroom with the moldy food and stuff, was that where the rope was that I picked up?
No, that the moldy food's all in the pantry,
Okay.
the galley. The rope and all the gear is in the hold. So
Well, if Elefante is at the evening nip, I guess we go there and see if anybody has a job. I mean, we need to make money in this place anyways. Give him one last hurrah and see if he actually has been on these adventures.
Well, Serenity, I don't know how much you know about this area, but any suggestions on where we could look to make some coin?
I'm sure some of the local businesses could always use some handiwork, especially this time of year with them all getting prepped. You can ask around to see what people have. If you're in the hunting game, there are folks that do venture out, big game hunters, as you will, bring back trophies to town. That's one of the common trades, and I believe it's who is the one that does the big game hunting? The Clay Golem. Dolce at the Clay Golem is the one that you want to talk to about big game hunting if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But you could go to many different shops if there's anything you're interested in. I could give you a rundown of places that you could go. But is there something in particular that you're looking for that suits your skill sets or your interests?
Is there a place of worship in the city?
Unfortunately, the places of worship are no longer permitted under the rule of Azareth. So if there are places, they are not public. And I don't venture into that realm myself.
Serenity, is there a guild that belongs to the Whispered Soul in this city?
Yes, there is. You can find them at the center of town. Their arcane library is open to those interested in business opportunities. They are typically open. Yes.
Well, I'm not sure about you folks, but I certainly wanted to see the library.
Yeah, it's at some point, I guess it sounds kind of interesting. I don't know. I might be keen to just settle for a drink or something at the moment.
I
Can I
have a
join?
feeling Elefante is not going anywhere.
Oh, I wasn't planning on meeting with him.
Yeah, I could go for a drink.
I have no need for books.
For
I'll
what?
take you up on that. Books.
Books.
I'll take you up on that offer. Serious.
Is it Isa?
Isa.
Isa. Well, if you're gonna be going alone, I can accompany you. I know that I think we talked about this, requested my services to help you get to the bottom of what happened back in your hometown, as it were. So all that to say, if you don't want to be walking around town by yourself, then I'll go with you. But otherwise, we can certainly all go grab a drink and maybe look at the library tomorrow.
I'd love a drink.
What time of day is it right now?
It's getting late in the day. If you guys remember,
7 a.m.
Yeah.
It's noon somewhere.
you guys arrived kind of just before dusk, and as you kind of been like filtering in and around, maybe a few hours have passed, and it's kind of getting to that twilight. Twilight? No, it's like the sun's gone down, but you still see the glow over the horizon from the sun going down. So it's
Kind of like now.
Yeah, like now.
Oh, beautiful.
Set the stage, Eric.
I appreciate your offer. We can visit the library tomorrow.
Okay.
It's between you, Agent Peach.
Okay, so Serenity's like, well, there are various places to go if you're interested. The Evening Nip has a pub on the ground floor if you're interested in that. There are some more. There's the Leaky Tap, which is another popular bar. There's also a place called Chastity's Nook. If you're interested in more carnal pleasures than just liquids or alcohol. Those are the most popular ones that I have at hand that I'm aware of. I haven't been to any of them. I typically stay here for a nice, quiet evening with some tea.
The Chastity's what? Sorry?
The Chastity's Nook.
No.
Is it with the Chastity's Nook? Would they have like gambling games?
You've never been there, so I don't know how you know.
And nor has Serenity.
I know a Serenity, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we humor the old elephant?
Yeah, let's go. Onward to the Evening Nip.
So is everybody heading over to the inn?
Yeah, let's slip over to the net.
Yeah.
For a nip.
I like it. Inspiration. I like that.
Nothing like a bite at the nip.
Okay. Okay. So as you kind of walk through Zadash, people are starting to wind down for the day. Folks are going to different, small pubs, holes in the walls, some restaurants. Families are collecting kind of the kids that are running around for the day and heading home. As you guys wander through the streets a little aimlessly, but eventually arriving at a place called the Evening Nip, you see what looks like two buildings that are connected together, with the Evening Nip kind of over the one side, the more dilapidated side of the building. Very much like a dank dive, rough and tumble, dark wood along this building, like it's been rebuilt over time. Actually, I should have probably explained, as you walk through town, a lot of these buildings seem to have been damaged and rebuilt, and the whole town looks a little tired. Kind of a blue collar town, which there isn't a lot of money to go towards keeping the opulence of this city, so it's more just keeping the water out of the place for the repairs of what used to be grand buildings. So gentrification hasn't quite hit yet, but it's on the cusp. As you walk in, it's about a 20 by 30 foot kind of dining hall at the base, with the connection being kind of probably where the other rooms are, where the overnight stays are on the same level, but in a separate kind of structure. Definitely like an old English pub kind of feel, as you have this like wooden bar and a very old dwarf, brown beard, craggly, putting pints up on the table. Just find yourself a seat, and I'll be with you in a second. Placing stuff, cleaning out some glasses, wiping down the glasses that were clearly drank without any water, just trying to like get some of the gunk off, and you can still see the and stuff. As you look through the place is rather filled. There are some tables that are free, but there's a lot of folks that are kind of looking around, catching your attention, and going back to their card games at the table. Others are just kind of chatting, kind of in some booths along one side, and you see at the bar, kind of where those dirty glasses are being placed, your good old 7 foot tall friend Elefante just kind of sipping down some pints. What would you guys like to do?
All right.
Where is he sitting, like relative to the space?
He's got his back to you at the bar.
Okay. So I'll go for it. 4-2.
Can I go up to the bar and order 6 beers?
6 beers. Yeah, give me 1 second. Do you want ale, stout? Beer's pretty broad.
So, ale.
Right. As he goes
Make
under
the
the
decision
bar,
for the group.
and you just see without his head popping up, you just see 1, 2, 3 being placed as he's filling them up and pouring them out of a cask underneath the bar. That'll be 3 silver, please.
I hand over 3 silver.
Okay, takes it. Thank you very much. All right, like I said, find yourself a table. There's a couple, and he points to a corner where you can grab a table. It's
Eric, what did the card games look like?
Yeah, as you're kind of looking through, it looks like they're playing 3 Dragon Ante. I don't know if you're familiar with that game, but you can see them playing that. They've got some sort of variation to it. We don't quite see I guess you don't know the rules to it anyway, so you just see them playing it's kind of like, for your perspective, like a game like blackjack, where they're handing out cards and they're going around betting and then flipping over cards.
Yeah. So like I personally don't know it, but I would assume that Cyrus would know it.
How much money do we have, Eric?
You should have had it
Mhm.
with your starting characters when you built. You'd probably all have between like 10 and 15 gold apiece.
Okay.
I definitely used some of my gold to buy some other gear.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I could just I need the work.
That's fine. Cirrus,
Yeah.
here's a gold coin. Let's try to figure out this game of theirs.
Sure.
All right. All right.
Cyrus
All right.
goes and grabs one of the pints and says, "Much appreciated, Captain."
Cyrus. Cyrus,
Yeah.
are you cool?
I don't know them. I don't know what you're getting at. What do you mean, cool?
Are you cool, Cyrus? I'm going to assume yes.
I'm
All right.
Well, you guys
Sure.
are
Here's what
heading,
we're gonna.
while you guys are
here's
heading
what we're
over to the
gonna
card
rock
game.
and roll,
Here,
Cyrus.
I want to
Yeah,
get a
here-
sense of what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
While the two of you are heading over to the card game, I want to know what everybody else is doing.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
sorry, go ahead.
I'm just gonna sit down in the
Okay.
corner.
You go grab a table. You're kind of surveying. You see
Is-
the people at the table, like as you're sitting down. There's a collection. There's a Goliath at the table. There's a couple humans. You see a satyr kind of in the middle. She looks the happiest of the bunch, and the others look a little downtrodden. It's just flipping over cards and looks a little bit more like on a roll. You see in some booths. You see a couple other dwarves talking to each other. You see what looks like a water genasi and an ogre sitting next to each other talking to some folks. And then so I'll jump over to Fox and Peach, and then we'll jump back to you, Iso. What do you guys want to do?
I'm just going to go sit down at the table with Borge, and I'm going to drink the beer carefully and critique it mentally, just to myself. Just going to, I don't know, with my I have a history with brewing, so I'm going to.
Yeah, your parents.
I'm just gonna chug my back while making eye contact with Bob.
Yeah,
Is it
Okay.
That's looking
is
at
it
him
piss
weird.
beer or is it good beer? Really, that's what it's going to be.
I love it.
Before you guys leave the bar, how much is one beer out of that? I wasn't paying attention at all.
Half a silver.
Okay. I'm going to slide you, Borg, half a silver and say, thank you so much. And I'm going to saddle up to Elefante.
Okay, so while you're settling up to Elefante, Agent Peach, what are you up to?
I think I'm gonna sit down with Fox and Borg, and as I'm drinking, I'm just gonna kind of let out a sigh, like quite loud, like shame about Vermilion. Like, can't believe what happened there. Just loud enough to be like, I don't know. Like, I wonder if anyone here knows what the hell was going on there.
Interesting. Okay, I like that. Let's do this in this order. We'll start with the card game. As you kind of walk up to the card game, you just see this satyr.
All right. Sorry, Eric.
That's the DM now.
No, sorry. To explain this, I have a thing called psionic power, psychic whispers. So I'm going to use that, and me and Matt are going to be telepathically linked while we play this card game.
Okay.
As we're walking there, we bump into each other and we sort of shove each other to make it look like we're like not with each other. And I'm going to sit behind as many people as I can and try and see their cards and relay the information to Matt.
Okay.
Incredible.
Okay. All right. So as you guys approach, you see this satyr push back from her chair, jump up, and she's like, "Ha! I win again." Sorry, I need a better voice for that. "Ha! I win again. That will be that'll be 3 this time. Did you want to go double or nothing?" As you guys approach, and looks like we've got some new rubes, some new rubes that are interested in joining in. Come sit down.
Not for me. I don't want to partake in this. Maybe the loser.
Suit yourself, so you lose it quicker than most anyways, as she pulls back in.
Yeah.
All right, deal. As she like leans over to the Goliath, who's not playing cards but is just playing dealer. Who takes their seat?
I do. Rubes, huh?
Yes. Are you familiar with the rules?
So I feel like Cyrus does have a lot of history around card games. Like I personally don't know the game, but
Okay.
can I like roll for this or something?
Yeah, give me a history check.
Okay.
I told you that was the bad dice.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Okay. You are familiar that the game they're playing is generally loosely based off of Three Dragon Ante, which is you get one card face down, you get one card face up, and then you bet, and then you were given a third card, and the collection of the 3 cards is usually the total. You gather they're playing a variation of that, which you don't know what the other rules are. So you know you're going to get 3 cards at some point, but you don't know what the scoring mechanisms are or some of the rules through the process are. But with that knowledge, you are handed 1 card face down, so roll me a d6.
Okay. All right.
So that's your hidden card.
Okay.
Your card that's rolled face up, roll me a d8.
Oh, the D8. Okay.
And your final card will come in a second. But as you have the two cards, so as the satyr looks around, any bets? The human that's playing kind of taps on the cards and slides a piece of paper into the middle. This is as far as you're gonna push me. I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna take all you have for that you stole from me tonight. And the satyr's like, oh, I don't think so. As she slides 2 pieces of paper into the middle, and the play leans to you. As you look down at the table, you look at your cards. You know what they are. Can you give me what the D8 number is?
Sure. The D8 number is 4.
Okay. So you have a 4 showing, and across the table from you, you see another 4, and you see a 6 showing.
Who's got the 4
Eric.
and who's got the 6?
Okay. So the 4 is the human, the 6 is the satyr.
Okay.
Eric, during the time when the hidden card was sent out, could I see who, like,
Yes.
if they checked it, could I see?
Give me a perception check. And it's going to be contested by both of these characters' sleight of hand.
12.
Okay. You do not see the satyr's card, but you do see the human's card. They have a 1 beneath their hidden card.
Okay. So I need to write this down. So we've got a 1 and a 5.
So as they both slide pieces of paper into the middle. The turn is to you. What is your bet?
So looking down at the piece of papers, is there anything written on them, or?
As you look down at the papers, you realize the game that you have entered isn't being played with money. As you see the bet on the cards, the first one says a name, Molly, and the second one that the satyr put down says Ginny and Berta.
What?
They're dealing people.
Take that.
They're fucking traffickers.
That was my
Yeah.
first thought.
We have to win now. We have to.
I will say that, like, in my drinking on the side here, I flicked my hair forward, and like one of my snakes is just like keeping an eye like behind me because I'm sitting at the bar opposing them, right? and I can do that
Uh,
whole snake vision, whatever thing.
So
Cool.
Eric, I can choose up to the 2 creatures to do the psychic whispers to. I'm going to psychic whisper to Issa because I see that she's paying attention to what's happening here. And I'm just going to explain the situation from our end that these people are trafficking potential people and that Matt is in a game now for these people's lives.
Okay.
I mean,
So with that,
Right.
we'll cut over to the other group who's sitting at the tables. As you hear
this?
did I hear speak of a city called Vermilion? Sorry. Did I hear someone talk about the city of Vermilion? Yeah.
Yeah.
As you
I'll
see
drown.
you see the water genasi kind of leaning over the booth. He's like, "What do you know about Vermilion?"
Not too much. I know that some people went missing a little while ago, and yeah, it seems like a little bit of a mystery for sure.
I heard they're all dead. Something came out of the mountains and made sure to lay waste to them all. I wouldn't dare go up to Vermilion.
What was this creature?
Don't know, but from what I say, it's probably not something we're comfortable pursuing. I'd give the Dunrock Mountains a wide berth if I were you.
Okay.
It seems like you've been there in the past. Do you know where Vermilion is?
It's the I don't know where Vermilion itself is found, but from what I've heard, it's just north of Norvagot. Did I say that? Did I pronounce that right?
No, Nagarat.
Nogvarot. Yes, there you go. Nogvarot.
Where the hell is that?
Dunrock Mountains.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
It's a bit of a travel from here, I'd say, but probably find more opportunities talking to Dolce if you're looking for adventure.
Right, Dolce of the big game hunters group. Do you think he might know anything about whatever it is that's up in Vermilion?
She's just looking for stuff nearby, but if you get something exotic, make sure to bring it to her.
Okay. And who are you, friend?
You can call me Io.
Io. Wow, that's quite a name. It's wow. You can call me Agent Peach. My full name, Agent Peach.
I didn't realize. Sorry, I didn't realize you're an agent. Maybe we'll take our pints elsewhere as they get up.
No. It's probably not the kind that you're thinking of. It's a formality more so than anything with my monastery. So I wouldn't take it too seriously. I'm on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, so I'm just enjoying a pint. No worries here.
All right. Well, what do you know about the Vermilion, if I do ask myself?
Not too much. I know that some people have been missing, and there's some trouble there. And I continue to take some more drinks and start to get a little bit lightheaded and loose mouthed. And yeah, my friend found this book on this airship that we've recently taken over, and
Elbow, Agent Peach.
oh, this is my friend Fox. Please meet my new friend Io here.
Cheers.
As I'm taking a sip and I call over the bar, keep for another one, sliding over a full silver, grab a couple of pints, give one to Borg.
Interesting. And she kind of nods, sips her drink as well. And it's Io spelled Ayo. It's a different not. I just realized I just realized the sound that it made when I said it out loud rather than writing it down. Ayo. Okay, let's cut back to the card game. Unless anybody wanted to jump in, do something.
I mean, if Tiburon told me that they were trafficking people, that's the last thing I've
That's an
heard.
assumption. We don't really know.
Yeah.
No, but he told me it psychically.
I know.
Yeah.
But
So only
I-
you two.
Oh, sorry.
So okay, so the way the power works is that either me and Matt, like we can see from either me or Matt can see from our vantage point that they're dealing in names of people. So I've let Issa and Matt know, like when I said like, oh, they're trafficking people, that was my voice to both of them, but they can't hear each other. They can only hear me.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And can I speak back to you in my mind?
Yes. So everything now between us three, like you guys can speak to me psychically without any interference. I can speak to you.
We'll make it easy. Like
you
guys are having a conversation. I don't want to get bogged down in the mechanics of all that.
All right.
So I'm like, because I can see you through my snake. I say, like, you see my back just like stiffen. I'm like, you better be sure.
I mean,
And then I say everything is like, come join me for a drink and help me and Cirrus with this game, and we'll see what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
Having never spoken to Elefante, who I sat down beside.
Now you're just like, hey,
got up and left.
bye.
Elefante, it seems I need to check in on my colleagues.
Oh, when did you get here?
I fucking know. I assume I would introduce myself had I had any time. Picks up my beer, saddles over, not like if Matt's here, Zach's here, I'm gonna be here, like on the third corner of the table.
Right. All right. Better
and just pretend like I'm interested in the game, but like pull my hood a little forward so I'm a little shadowed.
Another vantage point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, from my perspective, like Cyrus is not convinced that this is actually what they're doing yet, but he wants to check. So like, because looking at the satyrs pile, like, is it all pieces of paper or is there coin and stuff mixed in?
All paper, and they're all names.
Okay.
What does Matt have? Sorry, what does Cirrus have in front of him?
You have gold.
There's some blank pieces of paper you can write stuff on.
Yeah. So I think as the round comes to me, Cyrus just kind of throws his hands up and he says, I gotta say, you got me at a disadvantage. Where I come from, we tend to use some of these, and he holds up a coin. I don't deal in paper.
You said you wanted to play with us. Let's play.
Yeah. Well, would be awful helpful to know what these names actually mean on the pieces of paper in order to play.
Well, you see here, Molly is a pretty strong, if not aging thoroughbred. And the other two are up-and-coming stallions.
They're horses.
I'm assuming that you've got something of equal collateral to put up. If they're not horses, maybe they're something of equal value. Of equal value.
I like to think, since I'm telepathically linked with my snakes, that my snakes could be linked to Zach in this game of telepathy we're playing. They just
I wouldn't hear the snakes. You would hear the snakes. You would hear me.
Yeah.
I will say horses. They're dealing in horses, psychic voice, and just like my posture eases. Continue.
I also say maybe. This is a pretty skeevy bar.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, gotta admit, I don't have any thoroughbreds of my own. So, what are we? What's the exchange rate on a piece of paper to coin?
I'm gonna say in my head, we have 3 horses.
Yeah, I'm gonna relay that back to him real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
just give the horse his name right now. Just put him on the paper.
are you betting those horses, or are you just trying to just find something else?
Well, so I asked the question. I just wanted to hear her response.
Oh, well, if you're not going to pay in equal value, you could put Put down anything you think that's worth a horse, and we'll judge if it's an adequate bet.
Okay. So Cyrus sits back and sort of pretends to think about it, and I guess has heard this conversation now, saying like, "Oh, well, we've got horses that we can bet." And he says, "Oh, what the heck? I'm sure I can come up with a name to throw on these pieces of paper if that's really how you want to do things." And so he's going to write down a name on a piece of paper.
Okay. All right.
Quickly, in an exchange with Tiburon and Issa, he's going to say, "I don't actually know. We don't have names for these horses, but you got one in mind?"
What did the horses look like, Eric?
It's hugely important.
Mabel. One of them's name is
All
Mabel.
right, you put down Mabel on one of these horses.
All right, Mabel.
Don't bet all of the horses, is what I'm going to say through
All
Zach
right.
to you.
That seems
Okay.
satisfactory. Let's get to the cards as the dealer.
Let's just talk like normal, and I'll just assume that I'm redirecting the messages.
Yeah.
As you are each dealt a third card, I want you to roll a d10.
Okay. Now, is this card face up or face down?
This will be face up. Do I not have
The
another?
horse was a red mare. Apparently, I wrote that down.
Oh, red man.
Okay. Okay.
Eric, is Issa able to check from her if the satyr or the other one is rechecking their hidden card?
No, you wouldn't be able.
Okay.
They both leave it at that. You see,
Okay.
the satyr gets a 10 on their card, and the human gets an 8 on their third card.
Okay.
Do you want to? Did you want to up the bet at all, or are we going to just play it out as is?
So I think going into this round, Cyrus is like, especially with the satyr being so successful, is extra suspicious that something dishonest is going on. So he wants to try and keep an eye for if anything shady is happening as these cards are being dealt.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll all relate that.
Yeah. So what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 13.
Okay. As you're watching, you don't see anything untoward happening. But with that, the Goliath calls. Since there are no additional bets, the cards are revealed. Starting with the human, who flips over their 1 with the 4, is a total of 5. And the way this game works is the person with the highest variation between their small cards and their big, or the higher die, wins. So they have a 5, which is 3 away from the d10 that they rolled. So they're sitting with a 3. So the question is,
Okay.
what did you roll?
Okay. So yeah, it's the largest variation.
So you either want really low numbers or really high numbers on your 2 dice, and then
Yeah.
the opposite on your big dice.
Okay. So
how'd you roll?
So I think because the 2 cards are face up, and then I've got the face down one like in my hand or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Are you trying to do something? I gather this is what it sounds like.
he's debating it. So I think, Cyrus basically like, so the human is flipped up, but the satyr hasn't at this point, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's going to try to, like, he's going to bring the card up and sort of like kiss against just in the front before he flips it over. But he's going to try to try and make a minor illusion to alter the value on the card,
Okay.
if you'll allow it.
Yeah, I absolutely will. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Can I help him because I assumedly know what's going on and I'm just gonna like stumble and slosh a little bit of my drink to the side, like just behind these folks, and be like,
Make a little distraction.
yeah.
Sure. I say you're helping, so you can roll that with advantage.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that is a 22.
Okay. As you, what? So, what is the result of your cards?
So, so in front of me, face up, there is a 4 and a 1. And then the card he flips up is a 6.
So, a variation of 1.
No, but it's between the highest and the lowest, right?
So the first two cards, it's the variation between the first two cards you got and the last card you got.
Variation between
Your D4 plus your D8 measured
Oh,
against.
you combine the first two.
Oh,
That
Measured
was
against your
unclear.
D10.
Sorry.
wait, you combine.
Like you add the first two numbers.
So you had a really bad.
Wait a second. It's but by first two you mean the two that are face up are added together?
No.
No.
the bottom
So-
and
So here, I'll make it really clear. Add
Yeah.
your D6 and your
Yeah.
D and your D8.
Yeah. Okay.
That gives you a result.
Yeah.
And then the variation between those two versus the D10.
And it needs to be the
As biggest
greatest.
as you can. Yes.
Yeah. So that makes sense. So he'd still change it to a 6, and so that would be a 10 compared to a 1.
There. Okay. Cool.
Because I rolled a 1 on the D10,
Gotcha.
a 4 on the D8, and a 6 on the D6.
Perfect. So it's a plus. Wow, a +9. That's pretty spectacular. As the satyr flips up the losing hand of a +3, or a variation of 3. So all of the cards go into. Looks like you win, and I can't say that I've seen a person win by such a big margin before. That's pretty fortunate, I'd say.
You know, it's beginner's luck, I guess. You know, you were doing so well before I got here, so easy come, easy go.
Well, you know what? I think my winning streak's coming to an end, and I know when to quit when I'm ahead. If you want to come pick up your winnings, you can come find them down at the ranch at Wheatwoods. At Wheatwoods Ranch. You can come get your winnings.
All right.
ask when. Ask when.
When should we go?
So the Rock Bottom Ranch is where it is.
Okay.
You can grab them anytime you want this week. I'll be around. I'm there every day.
All right. Do I just quickly? Do I get a hint of like any menacing or anything like that, or is it genuine? Like, yeah, you won. Like, come pick them up.
You get the she's gonna honor the loss, but she's not happy about it.
I need everyone to like me.
Yeah, as we do that, Fox, Borge, and Peach, you guys are confronted with 3 more pints that are slammed down on the table by the surly old bartender. Compliments of those folks over there. Feel free to enjoy. As he points over to the blue genasi.
Is it any good?
It's the same stuff you've been drinking.
Fair enough. And there's no, they left us, right? They're not here.
They're back
talking
at their
to
table
someone?
drinking. They kind of just nodded and looks like they're maybe finishing up as they pass you another drink, and you can kind of see them kind of getting ready to move out. As they're packing their stuff in, kind of putting their cloaks over and getting ready to leave.
Bartender.
Yeah.
Those fellows that sent over those drinks, do you know who they are? We didn't
That's-
really gather that.
The blue one goes by the name of Aojabe. She said she's new in town, looking for work. Asked if I had anything for her. I said no, and sounds like they're a group of treasure hunters over there. That's about as far as I know. And he kind of puts his hand out.
Sorry, did they not pay for our drinks?
Oh, they paid for the drinks, but that's about as far as I know. And kind of like looking for some sort of tip.
I'll give him 3 silver.
Silver.
Yeah, why not? I don't really think of these establishments.
Yeah.
You just paid their rent for a month.
As you grab the silver, it's like. Then there's a group of 5 of them. The big one there, that ogre, kind of the muscle, and then there's a few others. There's a short one, and then a young human, and a bit of a grouchy elf that tags along with them. They said they're looking for work, looking for leads to hit it big.
Do you know where they're heading now, or staying?
They were staying here, but it looks like they're taking off. They've already paid for their rooms, so I don't care.
Can I turn to Fox and I guess 8 and Peach?
Yeah. As you see them kind of get dressed, they start scurrying out of the building. Quickly.
I think they might have a lead, and I'm inclined to follow them. What are your thoughts, Fox?
Yeah, did they seem pretty interested whenever I started talking about the airship?
I don't think you really caught that.
He
We don't have
started to
anything.
mention it, and I tried to cut him off right away.
Okay.
But they seem to. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to go back to our ship.
So I'm going to get up and like basically follow them
Yeah.
without trying to be detected.
Okay,
I would probably see this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
do the same.
so you're gonna try and follow up. I'm just gonna run with this quickly. Vor, give me a stealth check as you try and quietly follow behind them.
20.
Okay. Yeah.
That's legit.
As you follow, you see that the two, they duck in behind kind of like a back alley as you're following. You hear them meet up, or you see them meet up within kind of the back alley. What looks like a taller figure with a cloak over them, kind of hard, obscured, and you hear, "Gal, we were listening on a group. They were talking about a vermilion. I try to throw them off the scent that maybe wasn't worth their effort. Maybe that's something to hit it big. Do you have any idea how we can get to Vermilion? Do you know anything about the town?" And the voice that comes from it is, "I don't know where it is, but we could probably find someone in Nogvarat that would. If you're willing, I could get us up there in quite a jiff, but that's going to cost us. Do we have the cash?" As they're kind of going back and forth trying to make a plan on how they can get up to Vermilion.
I'm gonna tell the other two that Borg has gone, because I'm assuming my snake looking that way saw.
Mhm. All right, Borg, as you're listening to this, what do you do? Are you going to continue listening, or you do anything else?
I'm going to continue listening.
It's like, okay, yeah, this other group seems they have an airship. Can you get us there faster than just our usual means? And you just see a nod from the dark figure as it kind of slips around the corner, and then they kind of all scatter in 3 different directions. Say, we'll meet at the right place. What do you do next?
With them splitting, I'm gonna go back into the pub.
Okay.
Basically to tell Fox that I think we need to get back to the airship.
All right. I look over the table, the cards. Like, you guys done there? I'm not gonna say that, but that's the face that I get.
Well, right now it's just me, right? Like I'm the only one playing cards, but
I was like, they don't know all three of us are associated very intentionally.
yeah. I guess before I get up from the table, I want to check with the satyr like where the Rock Bottom Ranch actually is, so I know how to get there.
It's just on the edge of town here in Zadash.
Yeah.
Maybe a 5-minute walk. It's not far.
All right, we'll keep in touch. Keep in touch. And turns to Foe and says, "Yep, just cashing out." And he gets up from the table, not paying attention to Tiburon or.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here for just over a little bit. The spell has like a 1 mile radius, so yeah,
That's kind of OP.
And
just
I'm
gonna say.
feeling, I'm feeling pretty tipsy, I think. So as I hear Fox and Borg kind of talking about it, I accidentally cast a thaumaturgy, and in a voice like 3 times as loud as my normal yell, I go, "After party at the Citadel, woo!"
I'm gonna
Invite.
shove
I'm
my
gonna
beer on that cue, and I'm gonna assist Peach seemingly out of this drunken place.
Yeah.
Okay. As you catch a couple attention by some of the dwarves or after party.
Yeah.
As you guys all filter out and head back to the airship.
How many locks are on the front door? Barricade this.
well, we've got Serenity, so I think we're good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, welcome back. Make yourselves comfortable. It's getting late at this point as you get back, and Serenity kind of keeping the place in order. You see her kind of just sweeping.
Yeah.
Just getting.
Serenity, we may have guests.
Oh, okay. Well, if Board says they're welcome, I will defer to the proprietor's direction.
No guests tonight, Serenity. So any come, send them away.
Okay. Well, what about these folks? Are they guests or are they residents?
These are residents. So I point to the group.
All right. Well.
Now that we're all back at the airship, I am going to relay basically our conversation about Vermilion. Catch everyone up. So these group of travelers, I think I have a way to kind of get the ship's finances back in order. So these group of travelers in the bar, and we're mentioning the town of Vermilion, maybe in the Dunrock Mountains north of Nogrod. Seeing that we have an airship, I don't see any reason why not try to get this thing running and check it out.
Wait, are you saying? Right? Sorry, go ahead, Fox.
This thing can move. It's not like it hasn't moved in like 47 years, but you think it's still gonna move, Serenity?
Serenity, how long would it take to get this airship in the air?
Like, I could probably inspect the ship and have things ready to travel by sunrise if you give me that opportunity.
I don't know that we have many options.
Question: Is there a stable around this Citadel? Any place that you keep horses, livestock, anything like that?
The Rock Bottom Ranch is where everybody keeps their husbandry, if you will.
Husbandry, if you will, or what is actually stored at this stable?
Well,
Is it
Ramada
people?
Wheatwood? She is a purveyor of most livestock, such as horses, donkeys, as well as some more, how would you say, exotic animals used for travel carriage. If you're looking for something a little bit more powerful for dragging or carrying, animals of all types to be used for all purposes. Ramada Wheatwood would be your go-to person.
Can I just clarify? Is the airship big enough to bring the horses with us if we were to travel?
They could probably fit in the cargo hold.
The first stop in the morning is the air ranch. The air ranch. the ranch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Ranch it is, and then airship, and let's get out of here.
All right.
Airship to the ranch, then like just do it in one go.
Are we allowed to?
Take the
Is there some
helicopter across
weird
town.
Yeah, is there some weird ordinance where you can't fly your airship in this town?
Do we care?
Azrath is going to shoot us down.
Perfect. All right.
Now
Airship
that's a
to the ranch.
possibility.
All right, airship to the ranch.
Okay.
I crack my knuckles and say, and I hope we find AO along the way. That
Yeah.
lying son of a
Let's set him up.
Centaur.
All right, so long rested up.
So as you guys take a rest, you guys are all without issue. You hear a couple revelers coming in during the night, but they are quickly told to go find a party elsewhere. As Serenity, staying up all night, kind of is prepping the ship, working to make sure everything is in order. As the morning comes, you guys are all able to get a rest. You guys are kind of stirred awake as the ship is humming with energy. It sounds like the procedures to take off are ready. As Serenity kind of waiting at the deck is, whenever you're ready, we can take off. I've activated the arcane engines, so it's at your direction, Bore.
We'll be going to the Dunrock Mountains, but we need to make a pit stop at the ranch. Sirius has got to pick up some winnings.
How many horses did you win?
There were 3 pieces of paper. Yeah.
So we now have 6 horses.
As luck would have it, yes. Yeah, I guess just before we're taking off, Sirius is gonna speak to Serenity. Just so you stayed up all night to prepare this airship. You must be tired.
A little bit. I took a break mid-evening, but overall,
Had some tea.
Overall, I'm doing okay. It's a lot of work. I will appreciate the thought.
Like when we saw her, have we ever seen her eat anything?
No.
What is
All the food's rotten.
she speaks of?
That's what I thought, but I don't know that the food is rotten, so I couldn't ask her.
Yeah, about that rotten food. I think I'm gonna start clearing out the pantry and get ready to dump it somewhere.
Just off the airship.
I
I'm not
suppose.
gonna like dump it on someone's home or anything like that, but yeah, pretty much.
I suppose.
The horses might like it, actually.
So
I don't know, like I don't want to poison our horses though.
yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I would like to keep the ales, even if they're fermenting.
The ales should be fine.
Keep all the alcohol for sure.
Yeah.
I guess while people are cleaning up the food, I'm
Vinegar.
organizing the map/war room, cleaning it up, dusting it.
I'm gonna take an inventory of the place where I found the rope and do a deeper dive. Is there any what I'm looking for is ball bearings. Is there anything like marbles,
No, unfortunately, no.
Home Alone style.
Apparently, yeah, I'm all alone in this.
No, I mean more crude tools. You'd find like a crowbar, some hammers, like rope. Maybe you find like a makeshift dolly to bring stuff, basically stuff to bring crates in and out, in and off the ship. Like there isn't anything like more technical things like the ball bearings or smaller things for. It's really to just move cargo, tools to move cargo. You find some big logs that are stuck. Like people might put the logs underneath to roll if it's heavy enough. But that's about it.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we're ready to take off, we can certainly get going. As you see,
Sounds good.
Let's go.
as you see Serenity kind of standing at the mid top deck, a pedestal raising from the floor comes up with a golden ball kind of sitting, and she puts both of her hands on it. Her eyes start to glow a little bit brighter, the golden eyes, as this ball starts to energize and the ship starts to lift off the ground. Slowly at first, picking up speed, getting quicker and quicker, then slowing down as it descends about 2 blocks away.
Yeah. Traveling in style.
Also, we have indoor horses, so this is going to be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Go pick up your horses.
Hey,
Cyrus exits the ship to.
I will be following Cyrus.
Yeah.
I'm going to observe from the top deck.
Wait, but you
You want to
you
be
can't
seen?
be with me.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. No, I'll be observing from a distance.
Nor can
as well.
I.
Yeah, I was
So
like,
I'm not coming.
I'll handle this myself. Thanks.
All right.
I probably stopped you. Like I was like,
Yeah, that would have been hilarious though. Hey, yeah, we fucked you.
Yeah.
Give us the horses.
okay. So while we're staying
Yeah.
behind, I'm
Yep.
gonna lean over to Borg. Are you going with Sirius?
No, I'm going myself.
Great. So we're going to the place where everyone disappears. Just to be clear.
We're going to investigate the place where everyone disappears.
Those are the same thing.
The distinction is what's fine about it. All right,
Okay.
Sirius, get the horses.
Yeah, so I approached the Rock Bottom Ranch.
Yeah. So as you do, Ramada, like I'll try to make this quick. As Ramada, it's like, yeah, I got your winnings right here, and as she like has her fist, like she's gonna punch you, but she actually like opens the door into the ranch, and she like goes out and comes around with 1 stallion and 1 mare. Was it Molly and can't remember the name. Molly and whatever you want. They're the first 2.
There are horses now.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. As she passes you the two horses. 1 second, I just got to get Berta. She's a bit of a wild one.
Okay.
So give me a second as she goes back. You're at, come on. So as you see a giant lizard being dragged onto the ship. He's like, here you go. That one is going to put you out of house and home if you don't keep it fed. But here's your winnings fair and square. I never renege on a deal. So if you ever want to try your luck again, we'll set up a real game next time. And all right.
Much obliged. Any idea what this thing eats? And he points to Berta.
As he's like, bugs, big bugs.
Ooh.
Big bugs, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll find a way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're bringing Berta on some missions.
Maybe I'll see you around. Again, we can do this again.
Sounds good. So, with that, Serenity takes the ship off, and you guys start heading north as you can see the city of Zadash disappearing beneath you. As you guys are heading north, is there anything you want to do as we start this journey?
How does this air? Is it like an airplane at 30,000 feet, or is it like just a couple hundred feet? Like, how's this thing? Basically, are we able to like look out for the other adventurers potentially on the ground?
I would say you'd be getting kind of just below the
cloud.
cloud layer. Maybe if you pushed it, the ship could get above. So it's kind of like an airplane, but they try and stay a little lower. As you peer out, you don't really see the other group at all. You kind of see some caravans. You can make it out, but most of them are heading towards Zadash, not away from Zadash. But yeah, I am going to ask, as you guys are traveling north, who's the first? Who wants to take the first roll for the travel as you guys head north?
So is
I
this
will,
like,
as the captain.
I was gonna ask, is this like what naval ships were like, where we had, you know, a captain, a first mate, blah blah blah, or is it just like one person does the whole thing?
You guys sort out. You guys sorted it out yourselves. I got
First
Serenity
mate.
just helping you out, flying the ship for you. So whatever hierarchy you guys would like, it's up to you.
I mean, if Borge is chomping at the bit to, you know, steer the airship, I think Cyrus is just fine to let him do all the work. To be honest.
I think I'm going to keep a watchful eye on Borg. I'm also truly hesitant about being in the air, not loving it. So I think I'm just going to be like, is there any windows? I have no concept.
Was a top deck.
Yeah, there's the
There's
top deck where you can look
Maybe I'm
out.
out on
Okay.
the top deck surveying what I can
There
see.
are some windows in like the dining hall, kind of at the front or the bow of the ship, as well as the bedrooms each have their own window to look out. The offices are internal.
I keep on forgetting how huge the ship actually is.
Yeah, massive. All right, so I'm going to be in
Couple hundred
my
feet long,
bedroom,
or
which is
less.
one of the other ones looking out the window.
Oh, I'm going to get to the bottom of Serenity's tea. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Serenity's-
We're just trusting the robot lady. It's
You're
fine.
looking for the
I
tea.
rolled a 5.
Yeah,
Give me a
because
nature
she kept
check.
talking about tea. So,
So you're looking through the pantry. You do find some tea.
well, okay, what the hell?
Motor.
Nature check, really? 8.
Well,
Don't
you
want to talk
actually,
about it.
as a purveyor in the natural world, even with an 8, you get a sense that you can or you know what kind of tea this is. It's a lavender mint tea.
What? Okay. Okay, because I have a little pouch that I have my own concoction of that primarily is like lavender and mint, but then I add like other like little bits of, like flavored barks and like
Are you
mosses and stuff.
serious?
Yeah, no. In my head, I've had this like for ages, where I use that for tea, and I also do other stuff with it. But like, okay, I like fire. I got a little pipe, and I just like fire and like I smoke it. I drink. I do everything with it. Okay, guys, don't judge me.
Well,
So-
We're not
find-
judging.
You find a
So
crate
I'm
of
gonna make
lavender
some
mint
tea,
tea.
and then I'm gonna go up top and also just I'm just gonna enjoy the trip.
All right.
It's not hallucinogenic. It's just common. Okay, guys.
Of course.
Just
Of
calm.
course.
All right. What's your
I thought you were
roll?
going to try and drug Serenity. That's where
No, just curious,
I was
'cause,
like,
like,
don't drug the robot.
No. If anything, I was going to like give her my tea because I think it's great, whatever I have. But it's kind of the same as hers. So
Or like invite her to enjoy the tea.
true. You know what? Yeah. I'll
Or
invite
for
her
a
out to the
tea.
top deck and offer some tea.
And she looks over. By the way, I'm not a robot.
I didn't say it out loud. Did she hear me in my mind?
No.
Well, yeah, you're a warforged.
So Boreer, if you'd like to roll me a d20.
Not normal. I know that.
I rolled a 5.
A 5. Okay. As you are traveling, the weather seems to get a little bit more turbulent. The clear skies that were making up the last day or so of travel started to cloud over. You see a dark patch of storms heading in your direction. As you make this journey, your travel is pretty quick. This airship is fast, but the way you're heading is kind of into the storm that's coming by. So unless you're going to take the time to circumvent it and slow down your trip, if you want to try and push through the storm, we can do that. So what directions are you guys as a group doing? Are you going to go through the storm or around it?
Can we confer with Serenity on the airworthiness of the ship?
Well, as long as we don't get hit by lightning, we should be fine.
What if we get hit by lightning?
Probably not fine.
Also, are we going around the Silver Cow Mountains or are we going over them? Like, can this go over them? Like
Over the bridge?
Oh yeah, you're way
Yeah.
over the mountains. Yeah, that's no problem.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You're doing like straight shot.
Okay, cool.
I think looking out at the window, I'll see the weather and I'll come back down to Borg and be like, we have a bit of weather ahead.
I see that. It seems that this.
Would I've been outside a lot. Would I be able to tell if these storms actually look menacing or if they're really menacing or just look it?
It looks like a high intensity summer storm.
Yeah, this could be a bad idea. Damn you.
Yeah, I see that we got some bad weather there. I think we need to go around it.
Very much agree.
Okay.
Serenity, can you mark a path?
Yep.
Horse.
Without losing a beat, it takes some time, but the ship starts to list to the port side as you make the circuitous journey around this large storm, which takes a better part of the day. But with that, as you guys travel, you basically get to your destination, Nogvarat, unscathed. But by this point, it's pretty much the end of the day. That's how fast this ship flies. So you were able to get to Nogvarat, but with the detour, you're getting there at sundown.
When we land in Nogvarat, are people like I guess like the locals curious about an airship, or are they just another common?
Airships aren't common, right?
So airships weren't common in the last campaign, but a Mr. Sven Silverthread may have pioneered airships as a form of travel, and they have become less of a wonder to people, where they're not common in the sense that you don't see them flying around all over the place, but they're known enough that people aren't like, what the hell is that? So they're like curious, interested, but they're not like, oh, everybody has to rush out of town to go see this thing. So you've maybe seen one or two flying above on your journeys in the last year or so, kind of thing. Maybe like half a dozen. So they're around, but not a lot. As you do land, there is a military-looking party, or at least armed group, that approaches as they hail. Welcome to Nogvarat. What is your business here?
I like to think that my first instinct was to let the horses and the terrifying lizard off of the ship.
Get them.
Probably hungry.
Holding my 6 horses. No,
it's not 6 horses.
It's
Five horses.
horses.
5 horses
Giant lizard.
and a giant ravaging lizard.
So if I'm up there first, we're simply exploring the mountains.
All right, well, feel free.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah. It's because it's one woman with 6 creatures.
Just curious what you're doing. Sorry. Just curious what you're doing. No, that's the.
Oh,
voice.
with that accent, you say?
No, I lost it. Just curious what you're doing.
So it's not Io in disguise.
Have there been other adventurers, explorers coming through here? People, just checking things out.
Yeah, now that you mention it, there is a group of adventurers that traveled here earlier today,
right.
led by a blue Genasi woman. They said
Can
they were
I-
heading up to the
Interesting.
mountains.
Are they? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say because I'm batting 1,000,000 on them. Insight check.
Go for it.
No, not the cursed one. Great. Good old nope. 13.
Yeah, they seem very welcoming, very straightforward guards folks. They don't seem to be aggressive towards you at any means, and they're not really too curious other than to kind of know what people are up to so that they have an idea. They're like a Canadian border guard.
God.
Yeah, what?
We can do whatever.
No,
Come on,
man,
Ed.
whatever you want, man. It's it's all good.
All right.
This other group, did they are they in Nargothrond or are they just passed through?
They came in. They said they're heading up to the. They said they're heading up to the mountains. So they asked for where the nearest supply store was, and that's the last I seen of them.
Did you see what trail they took into the mountain?
The northern trail out of Novgorod is the only trail up to them. So I'd assume that way.
No, we're actually supplies here. The pantries are. They're horribly thin. Where is this supply store?
Yeah, there's an outfitters here that you can get some general food if you're looking for rations. We're not in the greatest of upkeep, so it's a little bare, but you could probably stock yourself up for a couple days.
All right.
Are we like in like a forest terrain? Is there any chance there's like any animal that's edible or berries?
The town itself is more of a hamlet when you kind of descended in as you flew
Oh
by.
God.
You could see the area around. There's some agriculture happening, some fields that are being tended to. There's some low brush, some sparse trees. You probably maybe you could see a deer or a pack of deer kind of rushing around, and some berries on the low shrubs. If that's what you're looking to collect, I would say that's pretty easy to harvest. Given the makeup of the group, I don't think you'd have a challenge to find some of that stuff. But it's not right in town.
Okay. I'm gonna set the horses in a little grassy area and turn to the group and say, if they're stopping for supplies, we might beat them if we were to go straight there.
But we have no supplies.
The world is our supply.
I think I have a ton of food on me, to be honest.
Huh.
Do you?
Yeah, I have like 10 rations.
All right.
Oh, it's like just the
All right, all right.
standard. Like everyone should have rations.
We should also have 10 rations. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not hurting for food. I just was just chatting up the guards,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
we-
do we want to check out that supply store, see if they got further info, or do we want to just try to, as I say, beat them to it and just go on the trail?
Yeah, I don't think the supply store would have anything that would be like especially
Yeah.
useful to us.
Yeah.
It's a tiny supply store, a hamlet. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
just go straight to the goal.
Yeah, my thought is like if we could beat them there, the supply store will also be there on the way back, and we have to get
Yeah.
back to the airship. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
Boris, you think you'd be able to track someone off the trail if they because they might leave the trail at some point. Like you feel like you're pretty good at tracking stuff.
I mean, we've got an agent among us.
I am just seething like beside you guys. You notice like a very harmless but noticeable tremor in the ground. And I'm just like, yeah, let's go find Ale. I'm just wild-eyed, pissed that she lied about interested. Truth is very, very important to me. And as an investigator / interrogator, I am just pumped to be here right now.
Note to self: never lie to Agent Peach.
As I get a little bit frightened look from Agent Peach. Yes, Fox. I think we should be able to keep a group of that size. I should be able to keep up with.
Serenity, protect the horses. Oh no, we're taking them with us.
And-
Never mind.
Are we taking the lizard?
Yes, we'll do it.
I guess you say you get the lizard.
I don't have animal handling. I was going to take
I'll take the
Mabel,
lizard.
our OG
I'll take
horse
the
who I
lizard.
love from the
Iberon,
start.
can you beast
Fox
bond?
will take the lizard.
Yeah, I'm just
on,
gonna
you're a
walk up to the
reptile
lizard,
lady.
pat him on the head, give him some little scritch,
Oh, the
Scritch.
same.
and yeah, like I don't know.
Not the same.
Yeah, well, maybe yeah, whatever. I'll get a feel for it, and then if he seems
Just like-
willing, I'll give him some scritch or something.
We're just
I
like
don't know.
all going on the horses, and then Fox, like the horses are like clog up, and then there's a lizard.
Tiburon, how does your beast bond work?
I think that
My
was,
beast bond? Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
that was
I don't
boring.
have one.
That was boring.
That's me.
Oh boy,
I just can communicate with basically like dumb animals.
I can.
Wow.
I can like. It says I can like communicate psychically with two creatures, so I suppose it could be the animals, and they would understand me as well.
Okay.
But that's not what I'm doing right now.
cool. Just
But
looking
yes.
for backup
Intelligence on the
plans.
lizard, Eric.
But yes,
Lizard
I can. I can communicate, just flat out communicate with, I guess, creatures if I wanted to.
Cool. Just some contingencies in case it goes like Godzilla on us.
No, that's totally fine. I've honestly thought of ways of tricking other people into thinking that I'm their conscience.
Awful. Hate that.
Well, you know, it's more like the Jedi mind trick. You don't need these droids.
That's fair.
Okay. So-
Shall we?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So how are you getting there? Are you going? You're on all your horses.
Horse.
You left the ship
Our
at
horse.
the village, and you're traveling north.
We're on horse. Foxes on lizard.
Lizard
Gotcha.
back.
Okay.
How is it like? Are we just the name of the where we are? We're not like we're in the mountain, or we just pass over the mountain.
So if you were familiar with the map, you are leaving Nogvrot.
We're in like the foothills.
And
Oh,
you're
the
into
foothills. Okay,
foothills.
okay.
So you can see kind of before you the mountains are starting to climb off in the distance. You can see the peaks of the mountains, and as you're getting close, the topography is getting rougher. You see some of the forests from the northwest as you're approaching them. As you're heading up, the beaten trail starts to kind of blur into just the natural landscape as the trail kind of just pitters out on its own. As you do, you see what looks like a figure, maybe about 100 or 20 feet ahead of you, kind of like leaning down, maybe on a knee, seems to be like doing something on the ground. As you guys are approaching, while you're approaching, they don't seem to have noticed you yet. Is there anything you'd like to do before you kind of pass this person?
I would like to, as stealthily as possible, send the snake to check them out. Their range is not fast.
Your horses would be much quicker, but if is the group stopping to let you do this?
No. Let's not do that. I'm
It's just
fine.
like no.
Yeah.
Deny
It's-
yourself.
My
that-
snake.
That sounds like yeah, we're ditching the snakes. Okay, we're not stopping.
not-
No.
Yeah.
To the group. Do you see that person over there?
Do we recognize the person from
Yeah.
the previous group?
No,
Like
you
it's
don't.
not a big Goliath, is it?
No, you don't. They've got strawberry gray hair, kind of old, frail, half elven. As you guys are approaching, just kind of like working in fields.
Serious. You're a charming fellow. Why don't you go say hello and see if they've seen the other group members?
I mean, I'm charming enough to know people's names. It's Cyrus, by the way.
Yeah, why is everybody calling you Sirius?
Like Sirius Black? I don't know.
Yeah.
Cyrus, my apologies.
Sirius Black.
Sure. I'll go up to this individual.
Oh, hello.
Hi there. Got a quick question for you. I'm looking for some of our travel compatriots who may have gone up ahead. One of them, Blue Janasi. Seen anyone like that?
Oh yes, sweet lady. She left that way, pointing to the north. Oh, maybe about an hour or so ago.
Hour or so ago? Okay. And I want to make sure, did they
He's putting flowers together into a bouquet, kind of like.
just wanted to make sure, did they take the horses with them or no?
Yeah, they were riding on horseback.
Okay, right. Well, we'll go on to catch up with them. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the help.
Very nice to meet you too. You guys keep going.
Well,
As we're kind of off this beaten track, can I tell that we are still following them?
Yeah, you
Now
can.
that we were led in the right direction. I guess.
Yeah. Give me a survival check as you're with advantage since you are pretty good at tracking. The question I have for you guys are, what kind of pace are you guys traveling at? A normal pace, slow pace, quick pace?
I'd say quick since us and the horses are rested. Thoughts?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would possible.
I would just say, or I would just ask Eric, like, how fast is that gigantic lizard going with a dwarf on it?
It can keep up with the horses.
Okay. That's tough. Then they were going out
I'm
like a quick
smaller
pace.
than you guys. The lizard can handle me, okay?
I'm imagining it's
Dwarves
like that.
are smaller, but they're thick.
Yeah, but I'm not that heavy. I'm not
Okay.
the biggest dwarf.
Okay.
It moves like that creature that Obi-Wan rides in episode 3.
It's exactly that.
I was thinking Airbender, but the Fire Nation.
Yeah.
That also works.
Yep.
Oh,
All right, yeah.
shit. Yeah, fire. Ooh. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, yeah. So I guess at a quick pace.
Okay.
15.
15. It's a little tough as you're traveling. The vegetation blowing in the wind. It's kind of moist from the storm that rolled through earlier today. It hasn't dried out yet because it was a late afternoon storm. But you're able to kind of keep a trail onto it. As you guys pick up the pace and are working towards the base of the mountains are now craning up above you. Kind of in front of you to the north, you see these ice-tipped peaks. As you get to the foot of the mountains, the Dunrock Mountains, you notice what looks like wooden huts that have been broken down, some stone buildings that seem to have been cracked and toppled over, the ruins of a town that once was in front of you. You see, as you kind of arrive, getting closer to this, you see a group of figures kind of perched on top of one of these ruins with their horses tied off to a nearby tree, kind of kicking some rocks, looking over, picking their way through some of the rubble. As you arrive, you see Ao and company in front of you. I'd ask that you step off. This is our find. We'll take the claim to this if you don't mind. Probably not worth your travel up here. Thank you very much.
Not worth the travel. What are you doing here?
Like I said, this ruins and anything in here are our claims rightfully, and we'll take the rewards.
Rightfully, huh? It's a funny word to use in this scenario. Rights of who?
This is a a ruinous ruins of a lost village. I'm sure there's stuff to be found, and we've got claim to it. Whatever that is.
I wanted Rodri for this.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of hoping for Rodri.
Rodri, there you are. It's your time.
I'm right here. What? And I pull out. I don't know if a dart could do this, but can I throw something at like the rope that's tying one of the horses to the tree? And then in the distance, again with thaumaturgy, creating like a big like boom to spook the horses, or at least the one horse, and get it to flee.
Give me an attack.
Be like, well, it's
attack.
just us now. What do you need?
Give me an attack roll to try and hit the ropes.
All right. Sorry, I've got to just switch to beyond here because I am somewhere without my dice, which is an uncomfortable feeling.
Again, Agent Peach doesn't hold back.
Are we rolling initiative? Like, is this happening now?
No, not yet.
So an attack roll with the DC, like.
You're trying to hit the ropes, so just give me the attack roll with your darts.
20. Unnatural 20.
So your dart will hit one of the ropes loose. It's as you see one of the ropes snaps and breaks, and you're using thaumaturgy to make a noise.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? What's your noise? What does it sound like? What's
it is going to sound like a rumble of. Oh no, it'll sound like an ominous whisper, but like that's super, super loud right in the horse's ear. And it's kind of like a hissing sound.
Okay. As you do, you see the horse rear up as it whinnies and starts to panic and take off. Just one of the horses. As you say,
this here's our land. and you fucking lied to me. So it's going down. You son of a... And then I bleep myself out with some thaumaturgy.
Bleep yourself out.
You son of a boom noise.
All right. Well, I didn't want it to come to blows, but as she looks over to the ogre, all right, Maggie, deal with them. And you see the ogre kind of basically tightens some straps along what looks like gloves and gauntlets that like crush her hands into fists. As she gets ready to fight this giant ogre.
Yep.
That's where we're going to end.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Well, we're back to square one. We're fighting people again.
Always.
It lied. Lying's bad.
Lying is bad.
Oh boy, I am very worried how Cyrus is gonna get along with your character.
Yeah, I didn't really know about what was going on with the card situation. Theoretically, no one told me that you guys were cheating, because otherwise I would have hellish rebuked the shit out of you.
How could you tell? No one else could tell but us.
Yeah,